doing? My name is John Crump, and this is my show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Civil War, or if there's going to be an upcoming Civil War. I am joined by my friend John Wick here. Oh, I just touched that. Hopefully, we didn't get caught kicked off. Yeah. And I'm joined by Devin Perkins and also Matt Death Cowboy, and we will bring everyone on shortly, and some other people are going to be joining us as we go. But I do want to take opportunity to talk to everyone out there. I'm trying to raise uh, $15,000 in the next couple weeks to help. The audio is a little awesome. Is this any better out there? Let me know. The gain was all the way down, so I just turned it up a little bit. Oh shit! Are you fucking kidding me? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up from the backstage, so I guess uh we're good to go. If it's still low, let me know, and then we'll go from there. But right now, what I wanted to say is I'm trying to raise $15,000 in the next couple weeks for my niece Bella. It's getting towards the end, and cost to do ceremonies and stuff like that. If you know what I'm talking about, I can't bring myself to talk about it too much. Is expensive, but I'm just trying to help out as much as I can. So, yeah, that's showing up. I don't know why that is, but whatever. To so $15,000 is the goal in the next couple of weeks. So we will try to do everything possible. There is a GoFundMe. So if you want to donate directly to the GoFundMe, just go to crumpy.com/GFM. It's a hard time for my family, and I'm going to ask everyone to um, keep my niece and everything in their prayers. All right, I am going to bring on my fellow guest here. First, from the Trenchwork Chronicles, his name is Devin Perkins. What is up, Devin?
What's going on, John?
And we have producer Matt Desk Cowboy in the house.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? John, I just want to say I'm very sorry to hear about or Bella there.
Yeah, yeah. She means a lot to me and everyone else. So yeah, it is what it is. Part of life. And we are joined by the COVID free, I hope, at this point, Nick.
How's it
What
going, everybody?
are you?
John, I'm doing well, man. Like Matt said, I am sorry to hear about your niece, dude. You have all my prayers. Sending
Yeah,
to your family and you, and here if you need me, brother.
oh, thank you. Nick is a writer, and he also used to do a podcast with me.
Yep.
Okay, so the topic of the conversation, and it's been heating up in the last couple days, and I just want to preface it by a couple different things that has happened that I've noticed. It's is the next American Civil War here? It was if it's coming, but maybe it's already here. And with what we've seen in the past couple days, I think it might be. In fact, there is a doctors group on Facebook that told everyone in the group, if you're a conservative, to please remove yourself from the group because conservatives are terrorists. So it brings me to our question. are we currently in a state of a civil war? I'm going to go around and talk to different people. I'm going to start with Trenchwork Chronicles himself, Devin Perkins.
If you understand that politics are war by different means, then yes, we are in a new civil war because we're now seeing big tech honestly kiss the foot of the liberal government that's now taking over America. We're seeing the First Amendment and the Second Amendment completely get eroded. And I don't think Americans collectively are intelligent enough to understand that both sides are fighting the same issue. And if we keep fighting each other, then they're just going to maintain the status quo control, and it's just going to get worse. So yeah, I think we are headed to a civil war, and it's not going to do anything but prop up the powers that be that are already in control. So that's my opening statement.
All right, Nick, go for it.
Well, looking at the current climate right now, what's going on with the Democrats, the Republicans, conservatives, liberals, you name it, what's going on. Do I think we are in a civil war at the moment? I do not. I believe that we are not a hot civil war, I should say. I believe we're in a cold civil war with everything going on. Like Devin said, politics. Politics are playing a huge part in this right now. With everything else, what happened in D.C., what we see people talking about, Parler's a big thing too. They're getting ready. I think they said they were trying to get them off the app stores.
And also, they've been kicked off Amazon now.
Okay.
As of midnight, they're gonna go dark until they get a new host.
You see, it's I feel as though that's a definite dangerous step in everything going on. It's like there's a purge. It's like a liberal cleansing of conservatives, of libertarians, of even if you have a thought that crosses your mind, they're trying to cleanse the United States of them. So if it keeps progressing onto that, we could see something. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't like the way things are going right now. It seems very seems like we have some very dark days ahead of us.
All right, I'm gonna go right around to producer Matt, also known as Cowboy. What's up, Cowboy?
All right. The best way I could think of it is if you were to compare this to the American Revolution. A lot of people recognize Sam Adams and his Sons of Liberty. The Sons of Liberty were the one going around and folks riled up and directly challenging Britain. I see right now the United States government, the radical left, and big tech company are trying to mute Sam Adams and the Sons of Liberty. That's where I think we're at in the stage. I definitely do think that he has been thrown in a Boston Harbor. Um, I'm sort of debating on whether calling the the attack on Capitol, the Boston Massacre. I think we're somewhere along those lines if we're to compare it to our history.
I don't know if it's the Boston Massacre, but it might be. I'm gonna go to Silverback. Silverback is a host of Girls and Guns, and he's my co-host on Virginia Reloaded, which should be debuting pretty soon. We have to record something probably this week and get the week after. So middle of in a week to 2 weeks it will be up. Um, so Silverback, Are we in the middle of a next American Civil War?
I think we've been in the middle of it for quite some time now. Actually, it's been going on probably more so over the last 4 years. I think now we're probably reaching more of a three-quarter point. I wouldn't necessarily say civil war, but I think I'd call it more of a revolution that's coming on.
All right. Uh, all right. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. Um, the next question I have for you guys is we've seen a lot of banning of conservatives on Twitter and on Facebook, and Amazon kicking off Parler. They're going after Gab. Uh, they're going after basically all the conservatives, like I said. It's like a purging of the internet of conservative voices and libertarian voices, and and I think personally they're using the whole capital thing as an excuse. I think they've wanted to do this for a while. It's just they haven't had the opportunity, but now they do. So when I was in high school 25 years ago, a long time ago, I wrote a paper on what I fear in the next ahead of like what do you fear in the next 50 years? And I wrote, I fear a technocracy, basically where big tech runs everything. And the teacher's like, yeah, it's good writing, but I think your fear is overblown. There's no way that can happen, and all this other stuff. And I've been trying to find them um, on Instagram and Facebook and all the other apps to try to send them a message saying, "Hey, do you still think I'm wrong?" But I haven't been able to find them because I think what I said in that paper is exactly what was saying. And I wrote that back in like '95, which is kind of crazy. Um, and plus, I guess it was 26 years ago, which makes me feel really old. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna talk to Devin first. Actually, no, I'm gonna let's flip it. Let's go from front to back. Do you think that big tech has too much power? And Silverback, you're up.
I definitely think big tech has too much power. 100%. I mean, if they can block a sitting president of the United States, that means they have too much power.
Yeah. I just want to point out something. Writer says Telegram has their own servers. They can't be taken down. They might have their own servers, but they use DNS, and their registrar could remove them from my ear still is buffering. Oh, well, I don't think there's anything I can really do that. The registrars can kind of remove them from the auth servers, which will, they have their own servers, still be up, and they can also be removed from the data centers as well. So I am kind of scared of that. So, but let me go to Nick. Nick, you are actually a cowboy. Cowboy. I'm gonna Nick. Nick, you're up.
All right. Yes, absolutely. I think big tech has too much power. Let's look at Twitter, for example. Trump had what 84 million followers. Yeah, you look at that compared to his voters, he had I believe what 75 million voters.
Correct.
You take him away from Twitter. You know, he's completely, and Facebook, he's completely stripped of connecting with his followers. Google, they're trying to take away from conservative websites. I think I was told by a mutual friend of ours, trying to slow traffic down to them. Why? Because they have too much power? Absolutely. Do I think they have a right to stop people from visiting conservative websites, from listening to a sitting president online, from connecting with his followers? I think it's absolutely wrong, and I think they do have way too much power. They're way too controlling. They're as of right now, aside from politicians, whatever big tech says goes, and I don't like it at all.
All right, let me go over to Just Cowboy Matt.
Yes, I do believe big tech companies have too much power. For the simple fact is they do. If you look at it, they have and have been collecting information on absolutely everybody that uses their product to sell them stuff. So therefore, they know intimate knowledge of you. The fact is they've been collecting that for over a decade now, and they will use that to their advantage. I mean, a lot of people. I know people on the left and the right. From what I'm understanding, on the left, they're saying it's not fair. Threatening the foundation of our democracy is not the freedom of speech, it's the Sedition Act, and that's why they need to be blocked. But then I see all the conservative side being just completely blocked and middle liners. Reminds me, I had a conversation with a friend a couple of days ago. He reminded me, you know me, I'm horrible with dates and names, but someone said about 1970, about 40 to 50 years, there were only people in political parties. And that's when we will go from a republic to a democracy. And I believe that's accurate.
All right. By the way, I know there's some issues with the stream being kind of a poor quality. That is not on our end. That seems to be on a YouTube end. So maybe they're trying to censor us. But we're gonna keep on rocking here. Devin, you're up.
Yes, they do have too much power, but we have to take responsibility and acknowledge that's the power that we've given them. As conservatives, we preach about decentralization, and it's not like this is the first time they've censored anybody. They've been doing this for a very long time, and honestly, it's our fault that we've given them the power that they have. So if we don't like it, we have to start being more proactive instead of just sitting around complaining and being reactive when stuff like this happens. We should have already had our own platforms. If we already had our own platforms, this wouldn't have been a problem.
Well, it's the thing is, I mean, it takes billions of dollars to have a hosting platform.
Well, liberals do it.
Yeah, well, I don't have $1 billion.
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying conservatives as a whole.
Yeah. All right.
You got close to $1 billion. Though.
Oh no.
Not as many billionaires on our side as the liberals do, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, but we have enough. But we have enough. Like, let's not act like we don't have enough that we could have started our own platforms. And everybody, Parler's been around since before Trump got blocked. Like, I've been on Parler since Juneteenth. Everybody could have been flocked to Parler before this big haul of censorship. Like, this isn't new.
I've been on MeWe since 2016, by the way.
Right, like this isn't new. That's all I'm saying. This isn't new. Like, okay. We should have done something before.
Yeah, this is a question for Nick and Devin. When Stormfront, which was a Nazi website, got delisted, and they on the all servers at VeriSign suspended them, and they refused to let them transfer the domain name somewhere else. And they said, okay, we're just gonna block all transfer of the domain name, basically killing the domain. I was really mad about that, saying you can't do that. That's stifling free expression, and that's stifling free speech. And a lot of people back then were like, why are you so upset that they're blocking this Nazi website? And this is on the Patriot News podcast. I'm like, because it's not going to end here.
Right.
This is a test run. And I knew it was a test run. And we're seeing it. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
I remember hearing about it, yeah.
What's the question?
There was no question. I just wanted to see if you remember when we talked about that.
No. I don't, but I would agree with you that
you did. Yeah, you did. Oh, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, I still agree with you. The fuck, people can say whatever they want. Buy a
Yeah.
gun.
I see a lot of liberals out there stating, well, they've got private companies, they can do whatever they want. It's not a violation of it's not a violation or attacking free speech because these companies aren't the government. And what I think is a lot of these people get the second or the First Amendment mixed up with free speech. They're two totally separate things. The First Amendment references free speech, but free speech is free speech. you know, they're two totally different issues here. There is something called 230 protection, which protects uh, basically these platforms because from government cracking down on them for stuff like this. If these platforms get changed to a utility, they won't be able to discriminate against speech. Do you support these companies, these big tech companies, being classified as a utility to basically stop them from discriminating against political speech? Devin, you're up.
I would have to. I'm not educated up on that well enough to say no, but from the sounds of it, I don't want anything like that to be regulated just because a company got successful enough and decided to exercise their right to ban whoever. Like, as much as we don't like it, I do not like a precedent set that we can just regulate something to something else and then change the meaning of it. And now to me, it sounds just like bump stocks. But that's my opinion. But like I said, I'm not educated enough on it to give you a full, I guess, a full thought on it. But off break, to me, that sounds just like what Trump did with bump stocks.
They do fall under utilities, though, if you read the definition of the government definition of utilities. But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Cowboy, what say you?
Sure. I'm on the phone right now. I don't have my nifty laptop, so I can't look up the government's definition of utility, like we were just talking about. Any way you could read that definition out for me so I could maybe give you a better answer? I mean, generally, what I'm thinking right now is I am not for any kind of big government whatsoever. So, smaller government we have, smaller reaches they have, I'm fine. I prefer that.
Okay. The government utility is a company or organization that maintains infrastructure for a public service.
Okay. Well, I definitely do see that falling in that classification. But on the same note as that, there's plenty of private organizations like here in Virginia, where electric, that's definitely utility, but AEP, old dominion, such like that, that's still a privately run organization. Why is that not a utility?
You're kind of low, Matt.
So what?
I couldn't really hear. You're kind of low.
All right. So or as far as utilities go, I mean, you got the electric companies; they're still privately run. AEP, Old Dominion, and one or two others.
Yeah, but they're not. Well, they're all privately run, but they're not allowed to discriminate against people for like political stance.
Yeah, but those are your basic utilities. I mean, we wouldn't have internet or data centers or anything without the electric. So if we were to classify the internet and the servers as utilities, should we do the same with the power that goes to them? So really complicated question to answer straight up, to be honest with you. I'm going to say, well, honestly, no. But I would like to throw in the monopoly factor in that, even though they're private.
That's our next question.
Okay, so I won't get to that right now.
All right, Silverback.
All right, repeat the question for me so I can try to come up with a logical answer for this.
Do you think the government should reclassify big tech companies like Facebook, the Twitters, as utilities, that would prevent them from discriminating against conservative voices or any voices, really.
I'm not sure if I would consider them a utility, so to speak. But I don't believe that they should be able to censor anybody's voices. I mean, as long as it's not a voice that is out there screaming, kill people or whatever like that. If it's a reasonable conservative voice, even if it's a conspiracy theory, I don't believe they should be censored. But yeah, I really don't think Facebook or anything should be considered a utility because they're not really supplying anything of worth, quite honestly.
All right. We're gonna go to Nick, and then we're gonna bring in a new guest here. So Nick, what do you think?
I'm with Devin on this one. I really haven't read up on it. I haven't fully immersed myself in it. But from what everyone's saying, it sounds like it could be a little dangerous down the line. Just because anybody could be protected, and it could be like, A, B, and C, fully believes that B and whatever, they're wrong. Their whole ideology is wrong. Let's do whatever for this, and they could be protected. But like I said, I do have to read up on it more. I have to get a better understanding of it. From what I can tell so far, it seems a little iffy, and I don't like it at the moment. I'm probably not going to like it, but like I said, I got to read up on it more.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to our black belt YouTube member, Joe Drag, who is join. You can join the YouTube militia by hitting the join button below if you're watching on YouTube at John Crump 2. I also want to throw it out there that my niece Bella is doing very, very bad, and we're trying to raise money for something that we see happening within the next couple weeks here. I just can't bring myself to talk about that right now. So if you want to give, you can give to Bella's family at crumpy.com/GFM. It will redirect you to the GoFundMe. I'm going to head up there this weekend, next weekend. So Devin, I can't go to lobby day. I gotta go say bye to my niece. Which is
no, Dad, sorry.
Yeah. So
got you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay. Nick, not Nick. Rail, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Hey, John, how you doing?
Rail is a good guy.
It's a lie. He's a thug from Baltimore.
Yes, that's true.
Be more, yeah.
Body more during the day.
Yeah, he knows a lot about filming and editing and all this other good stuff.
I'll tap you. What's up?
Rail, okay. The question that we're on is with big tech. Do you think they should reclassify companies like Facebook and Twitter as utilities so they can't discriminate against voices they don't like?
I don't think I agree with the philosophy. While we ask government for more overreach.
All right, that works. All right, I'm going to start with you for the next question, Rail, and this is the last question. Then we're going to get off the technology kick.
Sure.
And
it's so much more we can talk about that.
There is, but I'm doing a whole show tomorrow on it, so I don't want to burn people out. Yeah. So, with companies like Facebook, and for full disclosure, I used to work at Facebook. I quit because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror every day and go to work. And I walked there, and Facebook pays pretty well, and they have a lot.
Raul's a member of Mom Demands Action, just so everybody knows.
Oh.
Okay. So,
events and everything.
One thing about Facebook, one thing that Facebook does and Twitter does as well is when they see competition, they try to buy it. And if they buy it, they will either buy it like Facebook did with Instagram and Twitter did with Periscope and merge it in with their company, or they'll buy it and shut it down. Also, like WhatsApp, Facebook bought that because it was a challenge. So they either do two of the same thing. So most of the tech companies out there, most of the social media companies are either owned by Twitter or Facebook. There's hardly any other tech companies out there, social media companies that aren't owned. There's like Parler and MeWe and stuff like that, and Minds. I love Minds, but the majority are owned by Twitter and Facebook, and the ones that aren't, they try to get crushed by the two. Like there's certain companies that certain social media platforms that you can't, or it used to be that you couldn't link. So the question is, are they a monopoly and should they be broken up? Rel.
I guess in a general sense, they could be seen as a monopoly. I mean, most tech companies do this. They can't, if they can't beat you, they buy you. Should they be broken up? Hard to say. I mean, I think the onus is on the people. I mean, they're only as good as how often they're used. But unfortunately, with technology, people feel that convenience is king. So, like honestly, with the censorship that's going on, I don't see why we're not leveraging the social media to just have in-person meetings.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot with my groups. Nick.
I haven't got any phone calls.
I know a reason.
Me too.
You did the last time we had it, like back in November. Devin. Back in November, the last meeting that we had with our little group, I invited you out, and you were busy.
Meeting.
See what had happened was
In November.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't even remember what it was.
No, well, actually, you didn't say you're busy. I told you, hey, you got to come out. You're like, I'll get back to you, and you never did. But Nick,
girl.
what do you think?
So repeat the question for me again, John. I'm
Thanks for paying attention. Should Facebook and Twitter be broken up because they're monopolies?
You see, we see, aside from Facebook and Twitter, we see this a lot in a lot of other industries. If you can't beat them, buy them, right? I think they become way too powerful just to entities alone. I mean, if you don't use them, they their power starts to dwindle. Should it be broken up? Yeah, to a point. I mean, like I said, they're just becoming way too powerful. They'll either buy out, add you to their group, or shut you down after they buy you out, or shut everything down. So yeah, I'd say break them up, because why give one individual company, immense amounts of power? It's just,
Sanctuary County brings up a good point. He says if they can't buy it, they steal the standout features of other platforms like Snapchat have stories, and now Instagram has something called Reels, which are basically a TikTok competitor.
Yep.
But yeah,
I did have one thing to add though.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of the Telecommunication Acts, what 1934 or 31 and 1980 something, where Verizon, or what was known as now Verizon, had pretty much all of telephone poles across the U.S.
That was AT&T.
AT&T, same thing, right? Now we're allowed to buy. Now we're able to divvy up those resources. Now, do we see the way social media is as a resource, like how telephone poles were, that were probably subsidized from the government? Is the internet now resource, like you're saying?
The internet was built by the government and is heavily subsidized by the government.
Right. Definitely has DoD projects.
Yeah, it's like heavily subsidized by the government. Like half the money that keeps the internet running is from the
Right.
government.
And
So
the
by
man who
saying it's
created
not
the
all
World
private.
Wide Web is appalled by all this that's happening right now.
What's that?
I said the man who created the World Wide Web is appalled by everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, he is. I read a story about that today. Okay.
If it's already half, or pretty much half subsidized by the government, isn't it already a utility?
Well, that was part of my point, but I'm not trying to lead you anywhere. So, Silverback, did you already answer the question?
No, I did not.
All right. What's your opinion?
Yes, they are definitely very monopoly-esque. Um, and I mean, that's, I guess, capitalism comes into play with all that because it allows them to buy up more and more and more and just keep building the way they're building. And yeah, they do steal other key features from other platforms in hopes that they can draw more people in away from that other platform if that's something they can't buy. So they figure if they can draw more people away from it, then that other platform will be like, okay, now we're losing money, let's sell out. But yeah, I mean, it's just giving them a lot more power as far as that goes. And if we could break them up, I would say sure. But, I don't know if it's quite possible to break them up without getting the government to step in. And right now, I say the government loves them more than we do because they can use them to their will, for their bidding. So, they really wouldn't want to break them up.
Yeah. Okay. Cowboy.
Well, like I was trying to say on the last topic, I do believe big tech does have a monopoly. The simple fact is, they own the servers, own the program, and just like everyone else has mentioned, um, what they can't beat, they buy out. I didn't even think about what Rail mentioned earlier about the Telecommunications Act, telephone poles and such. I I would think it would apply in this situation because I mean they own the network and they're subsidized by the public funded government halfway at least. So shouldn't that apply to the internet as well?
Yeah. All right, Devin.
If the government really does have more than half of their money into the internet, then I would say that they definitely would have to do more. Do I want to see them broken up? Yeah, but no. Like, that's up to them to how big they want to get, honestly. Like, I think, like Ro said earlier as well, like, it's as much power as we give them. So, I can do without Twitter. Like, I deleted Twitter before they got the chance to block me because I got tired of them. So, I mean, I don't know.
I've never been kicked off of social media platform.
Yeah, okay.
Right. The name of the channel, John Crump 2. Why?
Right.
Because John Crump won, and John Crump has already been used in the past. I mean, there'll probably be a John Crump 3 sometime in the future.
Yes, it will probably be short-lived too. Just out of curiosity, you said that all social media platforms have been bought out. MySpace, I know they probably consider ancient platform now. I recall Facebook trying to buy them out, and that never happened. So
no, they got outbid by Media Corp, which is Fox News Corp.
Fox
Let's all
News?
go back to MySpace.
Yeah. But News Corp owns MySpace.
Wait. So Fox, essentially the same corporation that owns Fox News owns MySpace.
Yes.
Is that recent? Like that just
No,
happened?
no, that's been like that before Facebook for like
Maybe 10
probably
years.
like, what's that?
Maybe 10 years now.
No, more than that. That was in the mid 2000s, right before Facebook blew up.
Y'all think Trump is going to start his own social media platform?
I might know some stuff from his son, but I'm not gonna get into that.
You
So
could.
Yeah. I think
You definitely could, John. You already mentioned it.
just to stick to Twitter, probably.
I mean,
You didn't say no, so that's good enough for me.
All right,
You
now
see the
we're
career
off,
thing, post it.
yeah, we're off the tech stuff. So let's go ahead and move to. Do you think that there isn't enough coverage of the rhetoric on the left because the media is left wing? For example, the head of CBS News wrote that Trump supporters need to be cleansed from the country. And if you know, what cleansing usually refers to, it's usually not like a deep clean when talked
not
about
good.
stuff like political waves.
Oh, man.
So do you think that the left wing, the media is covering for some of the left's tactics that the people on the right get like crushed for? Devin.
Is this an anybody? Okay. Yes, but at the same time, I think the internet and the transparency that the internet gives, it is showing the hypocrisy in those statements. So there, you really have no credibility critiquing or criticizing anybody who ran into the Capitol if you were in the streets rioting during the police brutality riots. But to me, same thing goes for the other side. Like you can never get mad again at anybody rioting over police brutality after you just rioted for your own reasons of corrupt government. So
Absolutely.
yeah, stop subscribing to your flavor of freedom and understand that the corrupt government in itself is the problem and it's not your fellow citizens.
But here's the
Absolutely.
pushback, though.
Shut up. Damn it.
No.
That's why I didn't want you on
All
here.
right, Rel, go for it.
Well, the reason is a little different because look how the technology is. We're back on tech, but look how the technology is set up. If each one of us have a different experience on every social media platform, even if we had the same friends. You know, with fingerprinting with a browser. I mean, all this stuff has been revealed by Edward Snowden, but it kind of went to deaf ears because convenience once again.
Well, this is my point is I believe the internet, YouTube, and social media platforms have just as much power as the major media corporations.
Okay. Yes.
And I believe that transparency is shown through the internet more now, and people have a better chance of being an individual thinker as opposed to just getting their source of information from the big media.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Theory, though. Yeah, it makes sense, but in theory, though, because how are you getting clear information? Like, we're assuming if we were looking for a conservative or a different ideal, we're limited by what our profile is set to. I don't know what I don't know is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're right in theory. But
if you're curious, you have a better chance of finding
absolutely
alternative information as opposed to only getting it if somebody else provides it for you.
Right. It's not TV one, and that's all. You only got 3 channels. You got billions of channels.
Right.
You just sit there and click through every one of them.
All right, Cowboy, what do you think?
After that blast of information, I sort of I lost track of what the actual question was.
So did I. So I was hoping
I
that
blame
you.
Devin.
All right, Silverback or Nick, do you want to kick in on this one?
No,
I'm right there.
that's
I'm right there with Cowboy on that one. I want to go off that whole cleansing thing real quick. Yeah, that's highly dangerous to say, especially with just the past world history when you hear that word cleansing. Yeah, that's a big no bueno in my book. But yeah, back to the whole topic at hand. After that, like I said, I'm a cowboy. But the one thing that really stood out to me was that whole just the cleansing thing. That's just that's just.
Can I ask a question? Does anybody really believe them when they say this type of stuff? Like, do y'all really believe that one day liberals are going to be knocking on conservatives' doors? Like, yo, it's time
No,
for
I
you
mean,
to go out there.
no, I'm not worried about that happening. What I am worried about is certain nut jobs hearing it and going off and doing something.
Well, then
To-
they'll die. It's
but-
that simple.
The liberals are well known for personal attacks. When I say personal attacks, I mean they don't just go after you personally; they go after
Right, like the guy at the baseball field here in
Yeah.
Arlington.
Yeah,
He died
but I'm not saying that they should that they should not be allowed to say it. In fact, I think they should be allowed to say that.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just asking. Like, well, okay, I guess yes. There's always extremists, but as a whole, is there a point where you guys really believe there is going to be a movement where people are going to be actively trying to like remove conservatives from certain communities?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you what. You get one person with a lot of influence and power to start spreading it and continue repeating it over and over and over again. It becomes somewhat of a situation like Hitler. Okay, so he spread his message far and wide, and he repeated his message, and he used the same message that they need to cleanse their society of the Jews or anybody who was the Aryan Brotherhood. So it's not so much afraid of individual people coming at you, but it is of the masses. Okay, individuals.
So would you equate that to like Maxine Waters telling people to start attacking and then Rand Paul getting attacked?
Yeah, you could kind of equate the two together.
Maxine
Now,
Waters. Well, Loretta Lynch said that.
No, I'm saying I understand. I would agree with that.
But like Loretta Lynch also said that there should be blood in the streets.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just let the Q heads and Antifa meet up and go at it? Nobody can call the police. Yeah.
Let's sanction
Q versus Antifa. Let's see it.
Okay,
John, we can sell the tickets.
Okay, here's another thing. Do you think, I'm going to throw this out to anyone who wants to answer it. Do you think, because most conservatives are not Q people.
I know that.
But
most liberals aren't Antifa.
But correct. But if you watch the news recently in the last few days, they make it seem that anyone who supported Trump, anyone who voted for Trump, is an evil Q person that needs to lose their jobs, needs to lose their livelihoods, needs to be banned off all the platforms, basically become a pariah. What do you guys think of that?
It's just because that is the result of not disowning that bad behavior. You're guilty by association. Just like when some people might say, well, Trump didn't cite anything. Well, when he became known of it, he didn't dispute it either. It took several hours. So he has to take responsibility, unfortunately, for it. And the public groupthink type of thing.
Do you think, okay, Rel, follow-up question for Rel. Do you think that Kamala Harris needs to take responsibility when they were having riots and she said to the people in the streets, keep it up.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong is wrong, and both
Well,
sides.
yeah, I agree with you 100%. But that's what I wanted to point out, that you weren't just saying just the conservatives, that you're trying to say both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were, but I wanted to make sure everyone
Oh,
out there knew
yeah.
you were.
He's telling you he knows his crowd, bro.
Yeah, I got that. Rah!
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone out there understood that. Okay.
Objectivity is key.
Yeah. Okay.
Balance is key.
What is your guys' thoughts on a woman that was shot through a locked and barricaded door?
Fucker. That's
All right.
simple.
All right.
Wow, powerful little comment there.
All right. Anyone else?
I was told it wasn't through the door by somebody that was there.
Yeah, somebody said it was through a window. I've heard
There's a
different
window
kinds of
on the
angles
door.
on it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of different things.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I've
saw
also
the video.
different
The
stories.
door had windows on it, and the bullet came through a window that was on the door. So
didn't a Capitol police officer die too?
yeah.
A couple days later, like a day
Well,
or
then
two
fuck
later.
it. They were 1 for 1.
All right.
It's a tit for tat, right?
Right? like, come on. Like, they went there to do that.
Right.
What are
Like,
what are we mourning about? Like,
You died doing what you loved.
right?
All right.
She died thinking she was fighting for her country. So, let that be it. Shit. I don't fucking
But the
care.
thing that I disagree about the whole thing is, her story is now spread across the internet, the social medias, and a lot of them are trying to twist it. Oh, well, she had runs in with the law, and all this, and she wasn't the greatest. Well, who gives a shit? Quite honestly, I don't care what she did. I mean, she was shot.
Honestly, black people are so used to that we don't.
Right, and I don't
give a
care what
fuck
they did.
anymore.
And why was she the only one that was shot? They didn't shoot at anybody else.
Because it didn't shoot her on purpose. It was an accident.
Yeah, I think it
Right.
was an accidental
Yeah.
discharge. I am hearing something that I was told. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I am hearing that the cop that shot her committed suicide.
Ooh.
Woo!
I can't
You would think-
confirm
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Now they're 1 and 2.
One.
I can't confirm that, but that's what I heard from a very reliable source.
See, to me, you would think these guys would be much better trained than that. Much
Well,
better
yeah.
trained to handle pressure, that they wouldn't have an accidental discharge.
Well, did you see the
Do you?
picture right before it happened?
These are
I mean,
government,
like I said, you would
government
think.
employees.
Right before it happened, if you saw the pictures, they had Glocks that were, fully in battery, and they all had their fingers on the trigger. And the safety on the Glock is on the trigger.
Right.
So they basically had it's a striker fire pistol.
Yeah.
You're the safety. So
So
You
it's
think it was
not
a
like,
loud noise and he just got scared?
yeah.
That's what I think. I think
Yeah.
somebody hit that window and it broke and he got scared and wow.
No, she was looking through the window.
Yeah, she's climbing up, and then
yeah,
she's like at a cat corner to it.
Yeah, looking through the window.
Well, from the pictures that I've seen, there were two different windows. You see the standard two guys and a security, or two guys with the pistol drawn. One looking dead straight ahead, and the other one sort of looking at his partner. That's a completely different window from what you see the lady get shot and killed from. I don't know if it was just down the hall or what, but it was not the same window.
No, the little window they have was like a little square.
yeah, because it was like on the side of the doors,
Yeah.
and it was up high. She was like climbing up, and then it kind of looked like, from the picture I seen, the angle I seen it at, like she was getting ready to kind of jump through it.
There's the video. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
The video I've seen, or I must have seen a completely different video from you guys. The one I've seen, the woman was probably, there looked like there were two, maybe three males pounding on the door, and the woman was right behind them. And then the shot went off, and she fell backwards, and you could see blood coming from her neck. That same
Yeah, she
video.
got shot in the carotid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't see her go through the window at all.
No, she was looking through the window, not going through it.
Oh, okay.
So they were saying that she was trying to crawl through it, but she wasn't.
Sorry.
But she wasn't. Actually
Regardless of if she was, how does that put you in imminent danger to shoot somebody?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's my point.
Fear-mongering.
This is the problem. This is the problem with anybody who supports police to the extent that it's blind support. I need you to understand that if you're a gun owner, you do not get the same benefit of the doubt that government officials do when they shoot people as well. We could not ever do what this guy did and stay free for as long as he did, regardless if he offed himself or not. That's the precedence that's been set in America. Gun owners are guilty until proven innocent. Yep. And we have to remember that.
Man versus woman too. Like, why'd you
90% of everybody's guilty until proven innocent. I mean, the whole justice system is screwed anyway.
It's fucked. Sorry, John.
That's okay. It's okay. What are the chances of this video staying monetized? Come on, it's about
you already have a gun on war. How are you getting away with the gun on the screen? Like, I thought that was.
I'm not touching it.
Oh.
If I was to grab it, it would automatically kill the stream.
Touch it, John. Just touch
it. Stay on the show. Just touch it.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we covered all that. Do you think that? Okay. How about this? This is a good question because we're getting kind of close to the end. I got. What is your line? Like a line in the sand. What is your line in the sand that it would take for you to rise up against the government?
I cannot answer that because I am on public view.
Whenever they say that they're going door to door and they say that they're coming to my door, that's the line. My doorstep is my line. Because other than that, like maybe if one of my homies call, like John, if you call me, like, yo, it's time to go. Fuck it, it's time to go. But other than that, yeah. I mean, it'd have to be something drastic, like, but I think that would be it, right? Like that they're going toward. I think if they announce that they're going door to door, people will collectively gather, and something's getting burnt down.
But that's what it said. They're not going to announce that. They're going to go door to door. You'll find out who's going door to door.
They're knocking on your door, right?
Like a night of the windows.
Do you guys believe that there's enough Americans in the military or police force that would actually go door to door and try to confiscate people's guns? I don't think the police forces would do it.
Military probably.
I think that's a suicide mission.
Military probably not, but if you look at like during Katrina, they did.
Well, that's because there's black people, John. There's a difference. They're always trying to disarm black people.
Hashtag.
If it was a white spot, it wouldn't have went down like that.
Well, most of the
no.
Well, hold on.
They were trying to get those guns out of Katrina for a long time. That was a great opportunity.
Let me finish, Devin. God. Most of the gun laws that we have were because they didn't want black people to have that type of gun.
Right.
Devin, you would agree with them.
Yeah, you were going to agree with me. That's why I was telling you, let me finish. You're like, I'm going to argue with you no matter what.
No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, like, Katrina, we knew what that was.
They'll be like, KKK's bad. Devin's like, no, man, they were really good.
Hey, if it's an argument about free speech, you have to let them speak. So,
exactly,
there is an argument where I do have to defend them. because I want the chance to knock them the fuck out by myself. I don't need somebody else telling me that they can't talk to me.
Fuck yeah.
Let me decide that.
Do you think the violence is over?
No, hell no.
Absolutely
This
not.
is the beginning.
It's beginning.
I just
Yeah,
subscribed to this. I canceled Netflix for this.
So for my opinion, the first 4 years of the violence escalation started actually with Obama. It just started escalating. Then once Trump get in, it started escalating even more. And the real question is where is that pin going to pop that bubble and it goes all over the place?
I have a response to that. I think the bad part, I think the only chance that conservatives have right now, because I think Republicans are in the exact same boat Democrats were in 2016. The only card they have to play for a chance at 2024 is to completely discredit Biden's administration the entire 4 years, the same way liberals did to Trump the entire 4 years, or they really have no shot. Like if they let up any pressure off of him, it's Biden and whoever else for 2024, and we're stuck with liberals in the White House.
Yeah. Oh, one of the things that I thought was kind of funny is one of my liberal friends posted something saying,
John, sorry to interrupt. My phone's on 4%, so if I just die, you know what happened.
All right, cool. No, but one of my liberal friends posted, Republicans are all
so happy I'm not a Republican.
The Republicans, they said Republicans are all conspiracy theories, the theorist. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? It's like, and this guy, the reason I said, wait a minute, what? This guy is still believing that Putin hacked the 2016 election.
I mean, we also have to stop demonizing the word conspiracy as if like those aren't real things.
No, but he's saying he was doing like
conspiracy theory got accredited. I mean, the folks from Colombia, the fucking aliens, and all sorts of shit. I mean, for decades, it's all been conspiracy theory, but it's been confirmed. I mean, so,
I'm just saying, like, if you get charged with conspiracy and convicted, that's one of the worst charges you can get hit with. There's a reason why, like, that word holds so much weight to it. I think people have discredited it for a reason, so that when you call out a conspiracy, it sounds crazy. So I think there have been a lot of situations that have been attached to that term to discredit it. But you give a fuck. Like, everybody knows this. Yeah. Nah. I mean, Republicans, no. But I did see somebody say that QAnon is trailer park Scientology. And I thought that was the funniest shit in the world.
I'm not a big QAnon guy.
Before my phone dies out here, I would like to say one thing. In my opinion, or first off, I do have Democratic social media and Republican, and then of course the one you all know me has just me. And I'm going to say the Democratic Party is the most hate-filled party I have ever seen. I mean, it really is. They're talking about violent acts upon a person and how to discredit them. They're talking about attacking families. They're talking about burning down houses. And it's absolutely insane on how that party could be the right party when it's so violent. I mean, I know I understand a lot of you guys probably talk to conservatives mostly and been like, well, conservatives just said, yes, let's shoot them if they come to my door. Well, the Democrats are saying, well, let's take the job, let's take the kids, and let's take the wife, and let's kill them. So
it's like witch hunts.
So full of hate. It's absolutely.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree.
Yeah,
with
I totally agree.
Just from being a black conservative, I've seen so much hate if you do not fit the cookie cutter ideology of what a conservative or Republican is. Not at all. Like,
not at all.
Oh my God. I've heard the whole go back to where you come from. If you don't like it here, you can leave. All of that shit. Like, no.
You should have said.
Like, that's not accurate. The hate is so strong on both sides, but it comes from the ignorant people. But like, no, it's it's as bad on the left as it is on the right.
No, if someone told you to go back where you came from, Devin, you should say what? Chantilly?
I mean, I'd tell them like I was probably here before you, so you can roll out first. But like, all I'm saying is like, no, it is as bad on the right as it is on the left.
They're the same people in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
The same.
That's why you have black people like what's his name, C.J. Pearson, proclaiming that, oh, I'm not an African American, I'm just an American. He's saying that so he can please a specific crowd. Like any other black person looks at him like a fucking clown for saying some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, but see, what I don't get about that phrase, okay, African American, to me it seems like you're saying you have dual citizenship.
No, I don't use African American. I use AGOS. I use African descendant of slaves.
Well, how about if you okay? How about if a black person is Aboriginal and moved to the United States?
What about them? They're still an Afro-American.
But they're not,
because they're not from Africa, right?
No,
but they're
Afro-American.
Afro-American, okay.
Yes.
But they would be African American. But that's one thing. I mean, it actually bugs me because I have OCD.
Oh, we know.
So but when you walk to the United States, you're considered an American regardless of the ancestry. I kind of stick away from it because it seems silly. You can't really come to a real good resolution because you really don't know the history. You really don't know your own history too well. So how do you split it up? Looking at Devin and I, we're probably part American Indian too.
I know. I literally
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, my history's in the battlefield up the street.
Well, three of us are descendants from slaves.
John, you got like 2%, dog. Like
1%.
Shut up.
Hey, I'm Irish
one time.
What's that?
For me?
No, what did you say, Ralph?
Oh, I said sex with a black girl one time. Cocoa butter. Now you're black. Yeah, come on, man.
1%, man.
No.
From Senegal. Senegal.
Oh, okay.
Senegal, man. That's where I did the DNA test, and I have 1% from Senegal. My wife is 5% of Northern African.
Well, some might say people have migrated into those areas and may be considered African, like people in South Africa who are white looking, but African.
You know, the original inhabitants of Japan were white.
Nah, I live in America, dog. Nah, I didn't know.
No, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Well,
they're white.
Maybe not. You look at Alaska and all of those. Like you imagine,
they're a light complexion people. That's not hard to believe.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, guys. We've been on for a little bit over an hour. I want to thank everyone here. My final question is, can we... All right, let me do this. Let's get out everyone's plugs, and then I'll ask the final question. So, Devin, you go right ahead.
I have to start. Kids of Kings, walkthetalkamerica.org/kids/2/kings. ARLife2018.com/trench/work/chronicles.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Kids the King.
Yeah. And donate to Black Guns Matter. Donate to Aiming for the Truth. Donate to Walk the Talk America. Rel's on here so he can plug himself.
All right, I'm going to go to Nick. Nick, anything to plug?
Oh, and join FPC.
And GOA.
I don't know about that.
What's that? What did he say?
Nothing.
All right, Nick, you're up next.
All right, real quick plug to Jamford Tackle. I write with those guys now. Jamford Dimensions, Silver Sky Naturals, one of my companies, and What Up Nerds, another one of my companies, both hobby and hemp. That's what I do. Love it. And everybody else on here.
Yeah, What Up Nerds is really cool. If you're into like nerdy stuff, go there. All right. So let's go to Matt. Are you still there?
Test, test.
I can hear you saying test, test, test. All right. Let's go to Silverback.
All right, well, yeah, I mean, you can find me here on YouTube, Gorillas and Guns, and on Facebook, and that's really about all the social media I give power to. So I don't know much longer I'll be on Facebook. Just depends on how long they want to keep me around, I guess. Gorillas and Guns over there. Oh, I do have Patreon, Gorillas and Guns over there.
I'm a
But
Patreon subscriber.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And Devin, before you say, why didn't you give me a Patreon? I pay for your damn podcast. So,
I didn't say that at all.
I don't know. All right. And Rel, go ahead.
All right, so I'm over at fullyloadedclip.com. My blog, my site, my thing. And you can catch me on Instagram at Blocked on Wild.
He meant Pornhub / fully loaded clip.
Nice. Nice.
All right. All right. I'm going to do my plugs here really quick. The one big, I have a Patreon, of course. Go to my website, crumpy.com. I got a bunch of discount codes there to be used everywhere else. Most of them I don't get money. I just do it to get you guys discounts.
Hey, hold on. Let me cut you off real quick. Carolina Customs. Shout out to Carolina Customs. This dude does really awesome work, and he did an amazing job for me. So shout him out.
Yeah. Patreon.com/John Crump. The big thing is to try to get Bella's family money. It's crumpy.com/GoFundMe, crumpy.com/GFM, which will redirect you to the GoFundMe. I made it very simple to go there. It's just a redirect link. It will redirect you to the GoFundMe. So you can go ahead and help out. All super chats, everything that I make through here is going to go to helping them out. But yeah.
And if you buy any Gorillas and Guns merchandise from Black Swan Media or BlackSwanTactical.com, those proceeds will go to that as well.
Everything on Black Swan Tactical, you can use code Crumpy for 10% off. Every penny made on that site goes to Bella. All right, Matt, do you want to plug anything?
His cell phone.
Mic test.
Although Gab's coming out with a cell phone.
Oh man.
All right.
Trying.
Okay, now final question here for everyone here. I'm going to start with let's start with Silverback. Silverback, you are on the clock. We don't actually have a clock, but is there anything we can do to stop a next American Civil War?
Is there anything we can do to stop? Well, I mean, I'm not sure about that. I have a feeling if it's coming, it's going to come, no matter what we do at this point. If everybody just all of a sudden decided to start thinking for themselves and questioning authority, then maybe we could. But that's never going to happen.
All right, Nick.
No, there's nothing we can do. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I would. It's gonna be a civil war, but I would call it a revolution. Because nothing's gonna change. Everything's gonna escalate. Things will change with starting from the Black community. Every struggle, every heartache, everything that goes on in that community that, I have no clue, I hate to say it, I don't even hate to say it. I'll never experience. And if it starts with them, it works its way down to everything else. And if one thing doesn't change, none of it will. So, do I think that, a revolution's coming? Do I think the revolution's here? Yes. Do I think a civil war is here? the beginning, and I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it at the moment, unless, like I said, it starts with the black community and it works its way down. And there's no way to stop it unless we make that effort. So that's it.
All right, Rel.
I think there's a way. I think it's be really financial, and if this environment is anything like the 20s, where we had a pandemic, we had some type of boom, we're gonna have a crash soon, and people are gonna start worrying about their own survival opposed to their ideals.
All right, and my young protege, Devin.
I don't think we're gonna actually get to one. I don't think people are brave enough to actually participate in a civil war. But
Leave that too.
the best thing we can do is gather information and I guess interpret it without any bias influence. That's really it. It's about education and stop the groupthink. It's so simple that it's like the fact that we can't grasp it, it gives me even less hope.
All right, I got one more question. Actually, I'm gonna start with you, Devin. We were in a chat with some people, and one of the persons that I wanted to have on the show because they kind of disagree with, they're liberal. They said we shouldn't talk about is a civil war coming because that will only push us to a civil war.
Yeah, see, that's the scary shit that I'm talking about. No, we're not gonna get to one with people like that.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's already a civil war because they've already got us bickering amongst each other about this sort of thing already. So it's not a bloodbath of a civil war. It's just more a mental and emotional civil war right now.
Yeah, I think Nick called it it's more of a cold tech war than anything. I think that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's
if you're going to look at it in that manner. But yeah, I agree.
There's a video. If you look up Tom McDonald, he has a song called "No Lives Matter," and it's about.
Fuck that, mine does.
No, he's not talking about to you or I. He's talking about to the politicians, the people in power, and how they try to they try to push left versus right and all these different things. I don't know if you know.
That tree is getting real thirsty, man.
Absolutely.
I posted a tree in the desert, and people are like, "Oh, that's a really cool nature picture." I'm like,
that is the low level thinking that, oh man, all we can do is pray and hold on and laugh instead of cry because it's about
Hey,
I was like,
the next 4 years. Monetize, that's for sure. Monetize off the next 4 years, guys.
yeah, I was like, yeah, because of what's been happening recently. Here's a nice picture of a tree in a desert. People are like, "Oh yeah, that's a really cool idea to post positive pictures."
Yeah, we need to water it with some Groundo.
Right.
I'm like, all right. It was like it went over so many people's heads.
Bring guillotines back in this style, man.
Nothing.
I heard they had one floating around DC.
There was one in the lobby day last year.
Right. We ain't use it though. Granted,
they left it in the middle of the street.
He ran to North Carolina, so we couldn't. But.
Yeah, we would have to drive down there. But all right, guys. Thank
I
you so
think
much.
we're allowed to say that.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It is what it is, but I want to thank you guys for all coming on here. It's been a blast. Should we do more of these roundtables?
Yeah, might as well.
As long as you can
Feels
get the
good to be
other
back.
black guy.
The other black
That
guy.
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's available wherever. I do a whole damn podcast with black guys.
I'm just saying, if you can get Rel back, that's who I was talking about. I don't know who else you were talking about.
The whole hood.
Nah, fuck that.
I'll get Rel, I'll get Kevin Dixie, I'll get Maj and Devin.
All your black friends.
Yeah, I can come on and go, I just want to show you I have black friends too. Yeah, hell, you know what? I'm more black than Sean King.
Probably. Yeah.
This cup.
Definitely by blood test. There's no way he's black. Nah, at all.
That's something funny. I don't know. Devin.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming. Yeah. No, I just want to say, we're just wrapping up. But Devin one time was talking to me. He's like, come on, saying Taco White this, Taco White that, or Taco Mex that, Taco Mex that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
And he's like,
I have
Sean
a
King. I was
real-
like, oh, okay.
Real disdain for that man.
So he's like, did you see what Taco Mex said? I said,
He just says like the dumbest, like white liberals. Nobody asked for your help. Please
no,
stop.
and I said,
If
no.
any of y'all are watching, we did not ask for your help.
I said,
But they
no.
must give it to you because they
I don't
feel they
care.
need you.
That's how you get shot.
It's the Avatar theory, right?
Leave me the fuck alone.
You know the Avatar theory? It's something I came up with.
White savior complex, John. Just because you renamed it doesn't mean it's different. It's the same
No,
thing. The white savior complex.
It's no, but I like calling it the Avatar theory because if you watch the movie, that's basically it was the white savior complex in Avatar.
Yeah, but that movie's long as shit. Nobody watched that whole thing.
The
not at all.
too.
I did, but I was
Seen
subdued.
about 15 minutes of it.
It's not bad. You kind of get annoyed because it's like, all right, dude, like you kind of flipped on your country, but yeah,
You know why you did it, though.
for the ass,
Of course.
for the ass. Damn shame.
As Fred Durst said, it was all for the nookie.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay,
This
and
show ended in a plane crash.
it always does. Whenever I do a panel, it always ends up like this. Like we're about to get out of here clean, and all of a sudden it's like, bam!
Nope.
All right, guys.
Off the rails.
See you guys later.